Guys, out here going to do a ladder test, load development ladder test, just basically looking for velocities. I'm going to do it with H4350 and 6.5 creedmoor out of this Tika T3X varmint with 24-inch barrel, seating at 2.830, which seems to be what this gun likes under the first couple groups I've shot with it. We're going to start at 40.0. We're going to go up 0.2 of a grain every round we fire, and we're going to stop at 42.6 if we don't have any pressure signs before that. We're going to always keep an eye for pressure signs, and we're going to do a kind of a cool comparison here between a magneto speed off the end of the barrel, this is just a sporter version, and a Labradar, and we're going to set it up here and see what kind of numbers we get between the two. So it's kind of a comparison. The magneto speed's mine. I borrowed the Labradar from a buddy. I was just kind of curious. That way I have 2 points of reference to go off of, just to make sure. I'm just trying to do load development here to find a good node, which is a two speeds or two loadings that's the closest I can get together to give me the biggest room for error for the tenth or so that you're going to have in your scale. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to set the camera up where you can hopefully see both displays. I'll read them out in between shots, and then we'll go from there and see what kind of results we get. So once again, it's H4353. We're starting at 40.0 and ending at 42.6 if we don't end early from pressure signs. All right, stay tuned. Okay guys, so we're gonna fire up we're gonna arm the Labradar here. There we go. Amber LED means armed, and I shot 3 siders just to make sure that Labradar is picking it up. Looks like it's going to 20, but with the grass and stuff in the way, it don't look like it's going to pick it up any farther than that. If we were shooting up higher, it probably would, but since we're shooting prone here off the ground, and then I'll read out the results if you can't see it on the magneto speed in between shots. So first shot's going to be 40 even, and like I said, we're not really looking for accuracy because obviously we're changing grains so much. That one registered 2532 on Labradar, 2528 on the magneto speed. I'll mark them both down here. And next round is going to be 40.2. As like I said, we're going up 0.2 of a grain every round. That one there, we're 2527, Labradar 2518, magneto speed. Next one, 40.4. $25.28. We got an error on the magneto speed there. Next one, 40.6. We're 25.56. And 25.43. Next one's 40.8. Another error. 25.78. Still good, no pressure signs. That was first 5 there. Now we're moving on. Next one's going to be 41 even. Kind of weird too, because this is actually the first errors I've gotten with the magneto speed. I don't know if it's maybe because that Labradar is so close to it or something. Okay, so now we're going to shoot 41 even. $25.84. difference there between the two readings. Okay, now on the 42 or 41.2. We're pretty close. 2599 Labradar, 2594 magneto speed, 41.4 grains. We're at 2614 Labradar, 2596 magneto speed, 41.6. $26.35 Labradar, 26.31 magneto speed, 41.8 grains. We're at 26.43 Labradar, 26.36. That looks like a good note there. Now we're going to move on here to 42 grains, and at this point I'm going to really start watching cases for pressure signs. So I'm going to have to inspect these just to make sure we don't run into any trouble here. Okay, 42 grains. There. 2658 with the Labradar. We got an error. Push that primer just a little bit at 42. And like I said, we're on the 42.2. We had an error last round with magneto speed. $42.2, we got 26.71 Labradar, 26.59 magneto speed. And that's a pretty decent difference there. Spread, I guess. Primer looks good. Looking okay there. On the 42.4. $26.88 Labradar, 26.77 magneto speed. Primer's starting to push out the indentation just a bit, so we're getting pretty close. This is our last round, 42.6. Looks like we're just starting to show a little bit of pressure on the primers here, so it looks like we're getting pretty close to max. Okay, we're that was still a good, but that's the last of our, as high as we're going on this test. We're at 27.18 Labradar, and we're, I didn't catch that, 20. Disadvantage of the sport model, you don't get to see them all at once. 27.14 magneto speed. So we got a couple errors on that magneto speed, which is kind of a bummer, but it looks like what we did read, we had a pretty good node at 41.7, or between 41.6 and 41.8. We had a difference of 5 foot a second there. On the magneto speed, Labradar showed a little more, showed it at 5, it's like 8, so we're still pretty good spread right in here. But I'll go in and kind of thumb through all that data and see where I want to try next for my next 5-shot group and see what standard deviations are and stuff. This was brand new brass, unfired brass Starline with small primer with CCI 400, just standard primers. They weren't Magnum. So that's the kind of results we got. So it looks like we're at 2528 on the low side at 40 grains, and we're at 2714 on the high side as far as magneto speed goes, or 2718 as far as the Labradar goes. So once again, guys, this isn't saying this is safe in your gun. All this stuff would have to be ladder tested in your specific gun. So there's the legal disclaimer there. I'm not saying this is safe loads for your gun, but it's what I tried in mine. It looks like in this particular gun, we were good as far as pressure signs. We just started seeing a little bit of primer divot there. It was kind of popping the divot back out. So that looks good. We'll go down and look at the target here to finish up and just show you what they did. I obviously didn't keep track of what bullet was what. I'm not doing a load test that way, which should be done at a farther range anyway. We're just going to see what they flew like to show you that at 100 yards doesn't tell you a whole lot. If you have a lot of standard deviation in your hand load, you're going to see that out farther. But we'll go look at this group. Like I said, it wasn't a precision style group. I tried to do the best I could in the short time I had. Every setup wasn't perfect, but we'll see what it looks like at the end. Alright guys, so we're down here in the 100-yard range here and kind of looking at our data. I was kind of surprised at how much variation we had between the Labradar and the magneto speed. And it could have been my setup. It could have just been where it was sitting on the ground, or we could probably get that closer if I had a better setup, if I was shooting off a bench or something like that. So some of that could be attributed to just how I set the Labradar up. If you look here at the target, this was all our shots here. It was 14 shots. This was 3 shots earlier that I took just to make sure the Labradar was picking up, that I had it actually set up enough to pick up the speeds, velocities. We did have some errors in the magneto speed, which is kind of rare. I think I've only got 1 error on that thing before, but we actually had 2 or 3 in that string. But it goes to show you, I mean, this was just kind of a fast shot group. Obviously I was trying, but I was kind of wrestling my rear bag there, and every other excuse you could think of that I'll come up with. But it shows to show you that we varied 25-28 all the way to 27-18. So we also have almost 200 foot a second deviation in this group. And that's how close it is together. So that is kind of a good indicator that 100 yards don't tell you the whole story. Obviously when we're at 300 or 400 yards, you would see that thing stringing, you know, way bad when you get way out there. So 100 yards doesn't tell you a whole lot, but that's not what I was looking for. I was just looking for sheer velocity numbers. Whether I shot it in a bank at 10 yards, it would have been the same. I was still gathering the same information. So that kind of concludes it, guys. I just wanted to see what the difference is between the two, with the Labradar, which is on loan to me. Want to see how it compared. And it's cool if it's accurate to its own numbers, I guess. Hard to tell which one was actually right. And it could have been that it was reading 3 yards in front of it, or a yard in front of it, whatever. But it was kind of funny because it was faster on some loads, some rounds than the magneto speed was. So some inconsistencies there that I would, if it was mine, I'd play with it some more. Like I said, shoot from a bench, get a nice stable setup, make sure everything was perfect when it was set up, and we could probably get it closer. So anyways, guys, if you want to know, that's how I do my nodes, define my velocity nodes to start my development. I got a couple numbers in there. They're a little slower than where I want to be, and there may be one up top that I could use to get my velocities. I like to shoot about 2650 or faster. That way, 1,000 yards, my drop won't be so substantial. So anyways, guys, that's how I do it. Hopefully this helps you guys if you're loading, if you're looking at doing the ladder test like that, the velocity ladder with your chronos and stuff. That's new to me, so I'm kind of learning as we go, so don't take me as an expert. I'm kind of learning on this video as I'm telling you guys. So I'll see you guys on the next video, and maybe we'll have some cool groups to show you. Thanks.